What's going on, Soul Tribe? This is your girl, Ashe. We are here on Divinely Insightful, gathering messages from the universe. And tonight, I had a message that was definitely long overdue. However, today is Father's Day, and I felt like this message was definitely supposed to be for today. So it's just very much so fitting. And the other day I was having a conversation with one of my male friends, and, you know, he was explaining to me about his life and some of the things that was going on with him, and as it pertains to his children's mothers, I should say, because there's two different females. He has two different, children by two different women. And so he had begun to tell me about, his experience that he was experiencing with both of them. And as I was listening to his story, it just dropped in my spirit that, women, we have so much power. And it sucks that the power that we have, a lot of us are really abusing that power. And that is completely and 100% unnecessary and disrespectful, and just overall very uncouth. And the thing about it is, when it comes to these men, it's like, you can't cry wolf and then expect for life to be peaches and cream. Number one, if you have a man in your life who is the father of your children, who does desire to be in their children's lives, let him. Because there's several other men out here that don't even want to be a part of their children's lives. And I'm pretty sure if you don't already experience that, then you may have a friend who has experienced that. And so it's like, when you have a man that desires to be in their children's lives, let him. Don't be a butt wipe about it. Don't be anal about it, because at the end of the day, that child needs both of their parents in order to grow fully into the way that they need to be. And when they don't have one of those parents around, or both partners around, it makes raising them a lot more difficult. And so it ends up being not only stressful for you as the mother, but it also is stressful for him as the father. And it's even more so stressful on the children. And as a person who is a professional nanny and a professional, babysitter now for the last almost 15, 16, 17 years. I don't know. I got to do the math. But I've been doing this for a long time. And I understand that it is very much so important that that child has both parents a part of their life, especially if it is possible. Okay? If it's not possible, we understand that there are other circumstances that do have underlying factors in it. So take the message as it pertains to you, okay, in your situation. However, for those of you who are in situations where the father is around and the father does want to be a part, let him be a part. And like I said, back to what I was talking about when I made the statement of crying wolf, a lot of you women would be like, oh, you're upset at the fact that the child does want to have a relationship with the father, but because of how you feel about the father, it then messes up what that child has going on with him. And that has nothing to do with you. Your feelings of how you feel about that man has nothing to do with that child. You cannot impose your feelings and your thoughts about that man on that, to that child, because at the end of the day, your relationship with him is not going to be their relationship with their child. It's going to be 100% different. And you have to allow him to have that opportunity to do so. Also, as it pertains to, even still in the same arena of the crying wolf factor, there's a lot of women that'll be like, oh, well, the child came over and, y'all don't want him to wash the babies. But it's just like, honestly, y'all, if that child is really under like 5 or 6 years old, they're going to need some assistance in the bathroom, because I guarantee you they're not cleaning their bodies appropriately. And somebody needs to be there making sure that, or supervising them, making sure that they are washing their bodies appropriately, so that way they can clean their bodies effectively. Because there's a lot of children out here walking around with doo-doo stains still stuck in their drawers because they don't know how to wipe properly. And that's unacceptable, because as parents, it is your job to make sure that your child is receiving that knowledge and that care at home, not in the street, because somebody else ain't going to treat, and they're not going to treat them the same, number one. And number two, they're not going to teach them the way that you would. And you can't tell them that, oh, don't let your dad do X, Y, and Z. Now, if they're a bad person, then you just don't need to let your child have, don't put them in that situation. If you still want them to be a part of their child's life, okay, well then have a supervised visit. You can schedule those things and have it during the daytime so where the child doesn't have to go and stay the night over the parent's house. Don't put yourself in a situation to where you have to, it makes you feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I shouldn't have let my child go over there. And you know that the father has, some potential issues. And like I said, every situation varies differently. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't, okay? But if there's parts of this that connect with you, don't get offended because I'm bringing it up. You need to take a look at yourself and being like, you know what? I need to calm myself down, because my actions don't just affect me and it don't just affect him, and you're trying to just ruin his life. But it's also affecting the child, which is the most important factor in this part. And there's a lot of you that's missing that whole concept, and that's not okay, because your child is the most important thing, and your child does need the love of both of their parents. Your child does need to know where they come from, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you that have met people in your lifetime that don't know their parents, don't know a parent, and wish that they could have met them. But here you are telling the child, oh, your dad dead. What? Meanwhile, they got a whole nother parent, that is alive and that wants to have a relationship with them. But because you don't like them or how they treated you in a relationship, now you're trying to take that out on him. But really, you ain't taking it out on him. You taking it out on your child. And then you mad because your child don't really like you, or because your child wants to have a better relationship, or your child does have a better relationship with their paternal parent, and you're feeling some type of way. Absolutely unacceptable. For y'all men who have these toxic baby mamas, okay? I understand, okay? And there's a lot of times where you can't do certain things because, of course, the child is with their mother. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you do have rights as well as a father. If you can afford one, or if not, you need to seek some legal help, so that way you can start getting scheduled visits so you can see your children. Don't let these mothers take that right away from you. You have that ability. Make it your job to make your presence known in your child's life, so that way they know that their father does care, regardless of whatever their lying mother decides to tell them. Because there's a lot of women that's out here lying to these babies. Stop it. For real. Because it's extra, it's unnecessary, and it's completely disrespectful, because you're literally showing yourself, you're showing that child that it's okay to be like this, and it's 100% not, number one. And number two, you are doing a disservice to yourself, and you wondering why you sick or you got all these different ailments going on with your body. Excuse me, please. And that's because you choose to be truthful. Allow that baby to be just the way they are. Allow that baby to know that paternal parent. Allow that baby to have a relationship with that paternal parent without your misguided judgment about who he is as a person, because you only know a portion of him. You're not even allowing him to be a father. Men, the same rule applies to you. If she's not trying to let you see him, like I said, get them scheduled visits. And if she trying to put dirt on your name, talk about, oh, you was touching my child and you can't wash my child in the tub and blah, 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 and you know that you're not doing anything wrong to that child, you know for sure that you are being the best father that you ever could to that child, don't let these women gaslight you into making you feel like you don't have no rights to your children, or like you can't be a father to your children. But if that's the case, if she wants to take it there, okay, cool. You know what? They don't need to stay the night. We can see each other during the daytime. If you want to come too, we could do it too. We can go to a park, spend some time outside, you know what I'm saying, go out to eat or whatever, but we can all do it together, you know what I'm saying, or we can have a scheduled visit and you can be near mother, whatever the case may be. But y'all need to do something. There's always a way to make it work. But to tell these fathers that y'all can't be a part of their child's life and they want to be a part, that's not okay. Y'all got to stop doing that. Y'all got to stop talking to these men so disrespectful. Like I said, the relationship that they have with you is not going to be the relationship that they have with that child. It's going to be 100% different. But a lot of y'all can't see past your own toxicity. So you're like, oh no, if I can't have him, if he don't want to be with me, then he can't see his child either. How ignorant do you sound? Come on, women. Come on, ladies. You sound ignorant. Don't do that to your child. Your child deserves way better. And some of y'all are only doing what other people did to you, so don't do that to your baby. Your baby deserves everything. Okay, these babies are innocent. These are God's babies. These are the Most High's babies. These are the Divine's babies. And these babies are innocent until y'all start putting toxic thought patterns and behavior patterns in their life and in their mind process that they had no business even knowing or learning about until they become of a certain age. But since you taught it to them, it's just like, well, your hands is messy too. And the Divine got something for you too. And that's no pun against you. But at the end of the day, judgment has to be served. And if you want to continue to do this and be spiteful and nasty and mean and rude and disrespectful to the Most High and the Most High's angels, then you can go ahead 86 that whole happy life that you was about to have, because you guarantee your bottom dollar that you're going to continue to run into toxic relationships, toxic men. And men, y'all going to run into these toxic other females if y'all don't get it together. Do right by yourselves. Do right by your children. And most importantly, do right by God. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. Because God watching always. And when ain't nobody else looking, God looking. Period. I love y'all. Be healthy. Be wealthy. Be wise. While helping other people to do so as well. Y'all rest well. Be easy. Don't be breezy. And enjoy your night.